G'day and welcome to another slow and steady video here on the channel. My name is KT and today is Biking Sunday, back with part 2 of the Route 66 series. Now, I thought it'd be a really cool thing to do here on the Crew 2, but sadly there's many states missing in the Crew 2, which I didn't really consider. So the game only features 29 of the 50 US states. So basically meaning that 21 states are not represented in the Crew 2. And this has caused a bit of a problem because we travelled down from Chicago, we went to St. Louis, but there was a few cities in between, and we've got the same problem here. We want to go down to, I think it's Amarillo, which is Texas. So that's where we're heading, down to, I think it's Santa Fe. Let me just check this. Does it come across Santa Fe? Amarillo is next on the Route 66, so here it is. Now, there is no Oklahoma City between St. Louis, if I could just move this screen over, St. Louis and Amarillo. So we will be taking this drive down. Now, the Central Plains is the Great Plains. If you've ever played Red Dead Redemption, you'll know of the Great Plains and the importance of the Great Plains in America. But sadly, there's just no Oklahoma City. So we'll travel down to the Great Plains, or the Central Plains as they're called on here, and then we'll head down to Texas and we'll stop off in Amarillo and talk about the city, and we'll talk about the Great Plains, and we'll do a little bit of history along the way. So that's kind of the plan. If this is your cup of tea, then do stick around. It's a slow and steady special, if you like, so we're just going to be taking our time. So here we are in St. Louis. We're riding the Indian motorcycle bike still. Might swap it out for a Harley about halfway, I think. But for now, it's a great bike. And if you want to hear about the history of this particular bike and Chicago, then do check out part 1. So let's head down. I think we've pretty much spoken about this city. The Gateway Arch was really cool. And of course, St. Louis was named after the French king, which I really found quite surprising. So let's get down to the handlebars and get out of here. I'm just wondering where the arch is. Is it worth just pulling over and seeing that arch before we leave? Hold on one second. Got 5 miles to go. We're in no rush. Manual gears. Where is that arch? Because it was quite impressive. Is it going to take us past the arch? No, look, it's over to the left. I think we'll swing a left and go down to Mississippi River, and then we'll come out that way. So we'll take this next left, or just look behind us. In neutral, up into first. And let's roll on round. Go down to Mississippi River, and oh, look at that, the rain's just coming in. There's the arch. Oh, it looks so much better in the daytime. Literally like hailstorms coming down. I think that's one of the, is it the town hall, or that's a very old building as well that we're going to come past. I can't remember what it's called now. If you do know, pop it in the comments. But it's been a fantastic series. Look at this rain just on this bike. You know, this game still holds up today, really. And I'm really hoping that they bring it back to America for a native PS5, and perhaps we can, embellish more of the America. But look at that building. And look at this arch coming up, of course. But if you want to know about the history of that arch, then do check out episode 1. I feel like we should pull over and talk about that building. Hold on. Down into neutral. Right. The old St. Louis County Courthouse was built as a combination federal and state courthouse in St. Louis, Missouri, United States. It was the tallest habitable building from 1864 to 1894. It is now part of the Gateway Arch National Park and operated by National Park Service for historical and events. So there we go. Now, of course, if that building was the tallest building in 1894, it has far been surpassed now. And now, actually, as we spoke last time, the arch is the largest, and it's that arch there is the largest structure, I believe, in the USA, in the United States. But anyway, the rain is it going away? For that building, the county court. So let's hit the road. It wants us to turn around. We'll just take the next right, I think. And hopefully this rain will die off before we get to the Great Plains. But I hope your Sunday is going well, and if you're watching this on a different day, then I hope that day is also going well. But I thought it'd be actually quite a cool little series to sort of visit some of these cities and travel down on the Route 66. So if you fancy a bit of a slow and steady video with me as we talk about some of these things, then you're very welcome to join me. The rain has just subsided there. Oh, is he coming across that Corvette? Who's indicating there? We're going to roll round right. We're actually on the cycle path, aren't we? Oh, let's get on those brakes. Down to neutral. Of course, wonderful animations that we've got here. Of course, should be neutral and then down for first, then up 2 for second. Is that right? I don't have a motorcycle license, as much as I always wanted one. Look at this water just coming off that back tyre as the blue sky comes over. And as we head out of St. Louis, I think we'll go down to the first person so we can enjoy the ride. So as I was saying, so it looks like there's many states and many cities missing, and Oklahoma City is one of those missing from the crew too. It's a bit of a shame really, but I still, you know, I still appreciate the feat that they've done. So this is Route 35, or do they call them, do they still call them routes? Route 35? It's only 4 miles out from the Central Plains, which I think is really important to Buffalo and also the Native American Indians, maybe. So we'll dive into that as we get there. But we'll just take our time. But I'm absolutely crying out for a road trip game, you know? I mean, I'd love it to be on bikes, but I suppose we'll just have to wait until, I suppose, someone has got the scope to do it. But I mean, this certainly is a very big playground, the crew too, and you can still visit many of the iconic landmarks. Is that a train? Could have sworn I heard a train. So if one of you can see that arch, you can. Look how big that arch is over on that horizon. Yeah, absolutely massive. And look at this game actually, you know. Hopefully it doesn't get compressed too much by YouTube. But on my screen, the green actually looks really lush. And the wet road, the wet tarmac, there's a fox, I think. Right, down to the handlebars. Look at the animation there of the hands. Absolutely brilliant. So a 70-mile-an-hour speed limit. We're not going to go, you know, hell for leather. I think there's a video of me doing 188 miles an hour on a Suzuki GSXR. But we're not going to be doing that today. Up in the top. You can hear the engine as well, because obviously the revs are dropping as we go to the higher gear. Oh, it's great, isn't it? But yeah, I would absolutely love a proper road trip game where you could just jump on your bike, and I suppose what we're doing here, really, you know. So maybe I have got that game, and we are playing that game, and this is that game, you know. But of course, this is native PS4, not PS5. But I think they could have done a lot with it. They could have brought out like a DLC that was a road trip DLC maybe, and you could do the 66 and it would all be marked out for you, rather than me sort of like trying to work it out from maps and things. But you also have, you know, many of the other runs. You've got the Cannonball Run. There's another big one they do as well with the cars. I can't think what it's called now. I have to look it up. So do you think we're coming on to the Great Plains now? Yes, we're only literally a mile away, so we'll dive into that. I think I have chosen a little farmhouse that we can pull up. Let's just check this road. I think it goes... No, it's this one here. Down a gear. Yeah, do they call them Route 35? Maybe, I think they still do. But of course, we spoke before, Route 66 really is no more. You know, the infrastructure now of the United States and the pure population has meant that really the infrastructure has had to change. Is there a road over, or do we have to go across the grass? That bike. Just whip across the grass here. It's just a video game, isn't it? Look at that road, though. Look at that tarmac. Yeah, it's just great, isn't it? Down to neutral. I do love it. I'm a proper petrol head. I was brought up around cars, and well, my dad had a bike, and I was brought up around trucks. So, like, yeah, I do consider myself a bit of a petrol head, I suppose. And here we are doing a channel on trucks, bikes, and horses. So, but you know, if you follow your passion and stuff, so we'll pull up here. We'll talk about these Great Plains, which I didn't even consider, to be fair. I've played the Crew 2 quite a while. And, oh, let's just take this a sec. And didn't really connect it with Red Dead 2, but of course it would be. Okay, so here we are. The Central Great Plains are a part of North American Great Plains. Oh, okay, so we're on the Central Plains and they're part of the Great Plains. The region runs from west central Texas through west central Oklahoma. Of course, we spoke about Oklahoma City and how it's not in the game. It goes through central Kansas and south central Nebraska. Of course, the history of these lands is that the native rangeland of the Great Plains was once home to the American bison and numerous indigenous cultures. Large-scale agriculture and settlement in the late 1800s nearly led to the complete extinction of the American bison. Now the region remains a significant agricultural area with large farms and ranches dominating the landscape. Well, there we go. That's the Central Plains. And I've got to say, I've played the Crew for quite a few years and I didn't even put the two together. So there we go. The Central Plains or Great Plains, what's that, north of Texas, Oklahoma City, which is sadly not on the Crew 2. And just south of St. Louis. Okay, so I think now we're going to set up our second part of the leg, which is down to Amarillo, and we're going to talk about one of the famous buildings here. I did look for the Santa Fe building, which I couldn't find, But we can talk about this building here. Okay, so I think we'll just roll this bike back a bit. Look at that. It's so cool. Up into first gear and just come off the dirt as slow as we can. We haven't met any real players on this game yet, so 6.49 miles actually down to where are we going to? Amarillo. I'm trying to resist not to sing the song. But yeah, it's I think if you play Red Dead 2, you'll learn about Charles, and you know, he was talking about the bison and stuff, you know. And I think there was a scene where some cowboys or whatever basically shot a load of bison, and he went absolutely crazy, didn't he? And he said like one bison is enough to feed, like, so the basically the Native Americans would only ever kill one bison at a time because that was more than enough food, you know, for a month. So there was no need to shoot more than one bison. I think they probably go with one of the ones that's maybe a bit older and stuff. You know, they were really kind of sensitive to the lands, which sadly has been lost over the years. So a sign there we just come past at Amarillo, 5 miles. But yeah, just open fields and ranches. And very, very green and luscious, isn't it? So just 4 miles away. I don't think there's any real landmarks apart from the Great Plains on this particular leg. We're going to talk about Amarillo being called the Bomb City, which I'd never heard of before. So we're going to talk about that nickname. And I don't know whether it's still present. It's, well, spoiler, it's regarding a nuclear plant that's down there. So a little water tower there, look. I really like how you can kind of grab the camera and you can basically put it, you know, if you imagine a clock, we're looking out at 12 o'clock. If I want to look at, say, 2 o'clock, I just have to move the camera there and look at 2 o'clock or 11, if you know what I'm talking about. Right, let's drop it down a couple of gears. 4 miles out, but look at this luscious green. In fact, let's go to third person. And take in some of this green land. Snowy top mountains over there. But no, I don't know. I just thought this would be a cool little series, and I'm knee deep into it now, so I can't stop now. But you know, hopefully you're enjoying it. I've not seen anything like it around, and I thought it'd be quite cool. Right, just drop it down a gear. It says stop, but I think we should be okay. But there is all kinds of different environments here on the Crew 2. You can even go up into the snow. I think there's the Red Rock area as well, of course, with the Grand Canyon. You can even go to the Niagara Falls. You can go to the monuments with all the presidents. So there's a city coming up. I wonder if that is indeed Amarillo. We're 2 miles out. Looks like it, doesn't it? This road leading down. Right, let's have a little bit of fun then. Let's get down to the handlebars. Drop it down a couple of gears. Just the open road. Look at this. Not too crazy. Not too crazy. have permadeath on or something. Sound of the wind. There's ash trees there. Have a water tower over the crest. Just 1 mile out. Okay, let's back it down, back it down, back it down. Let's enjoy some more of this scenery before we come into the city. But yeah, it is a great game, and like I said, I think they could have done a road trip DLC for it, I think, which, you know, would have maybe been a single player mode or something like that, you know, or a private lobby type thing that you could do, maybe. But I do love seeing the animation there of her kind of pulling that throttle. You know, I really dig stuff like that, and you know, you can see her her left foot kind of move the gearing around and stuff, and yeah, brilliant. But we'll have to sort of see what. Oh my god, what was that? It's like a coyote of sorts. So, one of the most famous buildings here in Amarillo is a building called the Santa Fe. I couldn't see it. If it's here, then I just cannot see it. But we're going to head down to one of the other famous buildings, and we're going to talk about this bomb city. So there's that building there. It's just in front. I can't sort of look up. Let's pull up alongside it. Probably pull up here. Okay. So there we go. That is the second leg to which we have travelled down from St. Louis, originally come from Chicago, down through the Central Plains, and then down into Amarillo. Sadly missing Oklahoma City, but there we go. That is what it is, you know. And so I was looking for the Santa Fe building. I couldn't really. I thought perhaps it might be this red one, because it sort of has like a cutout. So I thought maybe it's this one here, but I don't think it is, because it's got arches on the bottom. It could be, but this one does look like a building, and we're going to talk about this particular building here. So this building here is the tallest skyscraper in Texas Panhandle, located in Amarillo. Is it the tallest? I'd say that. See, I don't know if these are real buildings, but this one is. It really does look a dead ringer for the one on the internet. The First Bank Southwest Tower at 600 S Tyler Street in Amarillo, next to 6th Avenue alignment with Route 66 in downtown Amarillo, earned the designation. According to the National Park Service, the skyscraper has also been known as the Chase Tower, the SPS Tower, Bank One Center, Amarillo Tower, and American National Bank of Amarillo. At 374 feet, the tower for a while redefined the city via the slogan "Greetings from Amarillo, Tool in Texas." So obviously that's a little while ago, but yeah, that's our tower. So the name Amarillo is Am-A-Real-O, which is Spanish for yellow. It's a city in the U.S. state of Texas and the county seat of Porter County, though most of the southern half of the city extends into Randall County. It's the 17th most populous city in Texas and the most populous city in Texas Panhandle. But how did it get its name as Bomb City? So it goes on to say that Bomb City, for those who are new to the town, Here's a quick rundown. You can sum it up in a word. Seriously, one word is all it takes to understand where this name comes from. That one word is Pantex. To borrow from the official internet definition, Pantex is a nuclear weapons assembly and disassembly facility. In fact, it's one of the prime US and has been in operation for a long time. Once Pantex made Amarillo its home, the name was sure to follow. This is the reason why people refer to it as Bomb City. So that's it from me. If you like the video, smash like, that would be super appreciated. If you're subscribed, a big shout out to you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being part of the SAS crew. And if you're not subscribed and you kind of like bikes, trucks and horses, then maybe this is the channel for you. And to head up through the, looks like the high street of Amarillo, I will see you on episode 3 next Sunday. Take good care of yourself and I'll see you soon. Bye.